Hi, Mark here. It is Thursday, August the 7th, 7:52 Eastern. That's going on 8 a.m. Eastern, going on 12 noon GMT. US session about to get underway. And let's have a look how the markets stand. US dollar index, green candlestick. Uh, but I can see that, I can see it started off. US dollar index was sold off from where it's the open yesterday all the way down to support at 97.74, but US dollar fighting its way back now, and I've got resistance at 98.16. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see the sell-off during the Asian session and the US dollar fighting back right now, up off the support level and looking up at 98.16 resistance. So US dollar started weak, but certainly fighting its way back right now. Let's have a look at the S&P. S&P futures market. Wall Street opens up in an hour and a half, but a gap up to start after yesterday's close and then some demand for S&P. I've got support at 6,378 and resistance at 6,427. So there was demand for US dollar equities in overnight in the futures market. Looks like it might be giving up some of those gains right now. Let's have a look at the hourly. And there you can see from a strong start, now looks to be giving up some of those gains, sitting at 6,400 going into the US session. And like I said, an hour and a half. When Wall Street opens up, buyers will look to continue what they started earlier in the European session and look to test resistance at 6,427. Sellers will be looking down at support 6,377. Let's have a look at gold. Gold doing the opposite of what we saw US dollar. Certainly started strong. You can see that from support at 3,365 all the way up to 3,397, almost the 3,400 level. But here's the wickets left behind me. Gold's being sold off now, going into the US session. Let's zoom in on the hourly, and there you can see gold started strong, almost 3,400, and been sold off since then in the last few hours during the European session, sitting now at 3,377, and I've got support at 3,365. Brent oil. I've got the daily chart up. I'm pretty flat, hanging around yesterday's close price. I've got support at 66.69 and I've got resistance at 67.63. Was some demand to start giving up a little bit now. Let's zoom in and look at that on the hourly. Well, yes, tested a bit higher, has given up somewhat, but sitting in the middle of the range. 67.63. Buyers will be looking to test break above that level, and sellers will be looking below the 66.69 level, sitting right in the middle of that range going into the US Open. Bitcoin. Strong start for Bitcoin. Yesterday I had that loosely formed ascending triangle. It has gone, the buyers being up, and right now I can see EMAs have crossed up as well. I've got support at 114.2 thousand. I've got resistance at 116.8 thousand. Almost 2,500 moves so far. Buyers will be looking to test break above this resistance level, looking up at 117, 118, and we know buyers have found it very difficult to break above the 120,000 mark. Perhaps we'll see a test or get into that area, into that vicinity. Alternatively, if we're going to see a turnaround and Bitcoin's going to be sold off, might well be off this level of these areas, and sellers will be looking down at the 114.2 thousand. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see the strong run right now for Bitcoin. Certainly demand, and buyers will be looking up at that 116, 117,000 resistance area. Good trading. Let's keep that discipline today. US dollar started off on the back foot and sold off, fighting its way back right now. We'll see how that plays out now that the US session is underway. Good trading.